Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Shri Shri Gaura Hare. Jai Jai Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Haribol, Gaura Haribol. Nitai Gaura Premanande. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajakacarya Ashtottara Satashi Srimad Divine Grace Abhay Charanarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajakacarya Ashtottara Satashi Srimad Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam 10th Canto, Chapter 77. Lord Krishna slays Salva. This is how we recite Salva or Salva? Salva. Okay. So this is a very interesting verse today, the 30th verse. But since there are no purports from 10th verse till 30th verse, we will first read all the verses, because until unless we read all the verses today, we will not be able to understand today's verse, because today's verse is related with all the verses. Maybe that is why there is no purport. Okay, so till now we have read till yesterday we read till, I think, the 9th verse. Yes. So Salva has created lot of destruction in Dwaraka, and Krishna had gone to Indraprastha for performing the Rajasriya Yajna, and now Krishna has just arrived in Dwaraka. Seeing all this situation, Krishna appointed Balramji to protect the queens, and Krishna is now coming in front of Salva. So Krishna is calling Daruk. Lord, this is text 10. Lord Krishna said, so please hear attentively the translations. Maybe we can repeat some of the translations together, because all the verses translations and today's verse, they are related to each other. Lord Krishna said, O driver, quickly take my chariot near Salva. This Lord of Saubha is a powerful magician. Don't let him bewilder you. Right? So Salva had a aerial mansion which was dark in color, which was not visible, which was called Saubha. And that's why Salva is called the Lord of Saubha. It's like if you have some very special element, or within you, if you have something like, let's say you have a special laptop, so Lord of the laptop. so, so like that, every time you will see that the Lord of Sauva, because it's very special. He had a very special item, because of his austerities to Lord Shiva he got. Thus ordered, Daruk took command of the Lord's chariot and drove forth. As the chariot entered the battlefield, everyone there, both friend and foe, caught sight of the emblem of Garuda. The Lord has come, and Garuda's symbol is there on the chariot. When Salva, the master of a decimated army, so by the time Krishna arrived, almost Salva was on the verge of defeat. It's not that Krishna came to defeat, he was already on the verge of defeat by Pradyumna and others. So it is mentioned, decimated army means completely dilapidated. It's in very, very bad shape, almost on the verge of defeat. Saw Lord Krishna approaching. Now Salva saw Krishna. He hurled his spear at Lord's charioteer. The spear roared frighteningly as it flew across the battlefield. Salva's hurtling spear lit up the whole sky like a mighty meteor. But Lord Sauri tore the great weapon into hundreds of pieces with his arrows. Just imagine the situation. Salva has sent the spear, and Lord, just imagine the spear. It has to come, it will take very less time if it is a meteor. And just imagine Lord Krishna was so expert that he could send before the response time that spear reaches the charioteer. It's completely beyond physics. I don't know whether you're able to understand. If someone sends towards you and you're just sitting there, then how much time you have to retaliate? Very less time. So within that small time of fraction of time to retaliate, the Lord retaliated with an arrow to destroy the spear on the air.
Sometimes when we see these serials and all, and we saw that the warrior is standing that side and another warrior is standing that side, and then they send the arrows and then they're in the air doing something like that. But actually that is not the truth. They were standing very close, because later on you will see that Krishna was using it after Krishna's all these things happened. Krishna used a mace to punch Salva. That means how you have to be nearby. So even if Krishna was very near and the Salva sent a spear, Krishna was so expert in within just a fraction of time, Krishna hurled his arrows and destroyed the spear. It was not that Salva was in Albatro temple and then Krishna was in here and then the arrow was coming and Krishna saw the arrow and then. So in case of when the Brahmastra was sent by Aswathama, the Brahmastra was in air for a long time. And then Arjuna retracted it. Arjuna had time to actually circumambulate Krishna. You remember in the 7th chapter of the first canto it comes. But Krishna is so expert that the spear was just coming near and Krishna within fraction of moment, he took out his arrow and destroyed the spear. So that is what our acharyas say. That is the expertise of Krishna. Because all other warriors could destroy other weapons. But Krishna is so expert that he doesn't require response time. You understand response time? Even if less time is there, Krishna can really do amazing things. Lord Krishna then pierced Salva with 16 arrows and stuck the Saubha airship with a deluge of arrows as it darted about the sky. Firing his arrows, the Lord appeared like a sun, flooding the heavens with his rays. The arrows were so effulgent that the Saubha airship, which was dark, started getting enlightened, and everyone was, oh, yeah. You're able to understand? You're able to understand? Oh, ye tha, kya dikhai nahi de raha tha. Like that. So, Salva then managed to strike Lord Krishna's left arm. So, from this verse, we will read more carefully because our acharyas have said to be more careful. Okay, so I am again and again telling. So, from this verse, we will be very carefully reading it because our acharyas have said so. Salva then managed to strike Lord Krishna's left arm, which held his bow Saranga, and amazingly, Saranga fell from his hand. So Sukadeva Goswami says, can you imagine? Something which can amaze Sukadeva Goswami. So our Acharya is saying, how Sukadeva Goswami is amazed. So we will see today's verse. Why Sukadeva Goswami is amazed. Starting from this verse, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that what made Sukadeva Goswami Adbhutam? What was Adbhutam? The Adbhutam thing was that Salva could strike Lord Krishna's left arm and hurt left arm of Krishna, so that Krishna was holding the sarang, like this. You have to hold it in left hand, the bow, and the arrows in the right hand. You have seen? So Krishna was holding like this and Salva stuck here, and then the bow fell down. And Sukadeva Goswami says, it's really amazing. So we will see what all more amazing things. Those who witnessed this all cried out in dismay. Then the master of Saubha roared loudly and addressed Lord Janardhan. So imagine, it's a little bit of victory he got. Salva said, you fool! Because in our presence you kidnapped the bride of our friend Sisupal, your own cousin, and because you later murdered him in a sacred assembly while he was inattentive, today with my sharp arrows I will send you to the land of no return. I don't know where it is. Wherever you go, you have to return back. Brahma Bhuvana Loka. I think Bhagavad Gita is not read. Though you think yourself invincible, I will kill you now if you dare stand before me. And Lord is telling. The Supreme Lord said, O dullard, you boast in vain, since you fail to see death standing near you. Real heroes do not talk much. but rather show their prowess in action. Amazing. Having said this, the furious Lord swung his club with his frightening power and speed and hit Salva on the collarbone. You are able to understand now? So the Lord was very near. Lord jumped and then hit it on this is collarbone. So making him tremble and vomit blood. Okay, Salva was stuck with the mace club. But as soon as Lord Achyuta withdrew his club, so he bet and he withdrew, and then Salva disappeared from sight. And a moment later, a man approached the Lord, bowing his head down to him. He announced, "Devaki has sent me," and sobbing spoke the following words. So a man came, Salva disappeared, and a man came, and the man was crying, "Oh, Devaki has sent me, Devaki has sent me." Like that, he was crying. The man said, oh Krishna, mighty armed one, who was so affectionate to your parents, Salva has seized your father and taken him away as a butcher leads an animal to slaughter. So he was crying, "Oh, you know, Devaki has sent me, Vasudev has been kidnapped by Salva." When he heard this disturbing news, Lord Krishna, who was playing the role of a mortal man, showed sorrow and compassion, and out of love for his parents, he spoke the following words like an ordinary conditioned soul. Lord Krishna said, "Balaram is ever vigilant, and no demigod nor demon can defeat him. So how could this insignificant Salva defeat him and abduct my father? Indeed, fate is all powerful." That's why Sukadeva Goswami was telling that this is amazing. So we will see later on more insights. So Lord Krishna had put Balramji to guard the queens and Basudev and Devaki, and then he had come. And then Lord Krishna is thinking, Balramji is Supreme Lord, is my expansion, and how can he do that? Maybe destiny is really become powerful. Okay, right? What? Pita mein balavan vidhi, mere se bhi balwan vidhi hai. Destiny is more powerful than God. After Govinda spoke these words, the master of Sauba again appeared, apparently leading Basudev before the Lord. Salva then spoke as follows. Salva said, "Here is your dear father who begot you and for whose sake you are living in this world. I shall now kill him before your very eyes. Save him if you can, you weakling." Something like this, Salva said. After he had mocked the Lord in this way, because Lord had already become distressed and he was standing, oh. So after he had mocked the Lord in this way, the magician Salva appeared to cut off Vasudev's head with his sword. Taking the head with him, he entered the Saubha vehicle which was there. So this is happening on the air, which was hovering on the sky. By nature, Lord Krishna is full in knowledge and he possesses unlimited powers of perception. Yet, for a moment, out of great affection for his loved ones, he remained absorbed in the mood of an ordinary human being. He soon recalled, however, that this was all a demoniac illusion engineered by Maya Danav and employed by Salva. Oh, now Lord Krishna has come out of his illusion. Now alert to the actual situation, Lord Achyuta saw before him on the battlefield neither the messenger nor his father's body. It was as if he had awakened from a dream. Seeing his enemy flying above him in his Saubha plane, the Lord then prepared to kill him. And today's verse we will recite. Evam badanti rajrishe ऋषया केचनान्विता यत्स्ववाचो विरुध्येत न्यूनं ते न स्मरन्त्युत एवं वदन्ति राजर्षे ऋषया केचनान्विता यत्स्ववाचो विरुध्येत न्यूनं तेन स्मरन्त्युत एवं वदन्ति राजर्षे ऋषया केचनान्विता यत्स्ववाचो विरुध्येत न्यूनं तेन स्मरन्त्युत राजर्षे ऋषया केचनान्विता यस्य वाचो विरुध्येत न्यूनं नेता स्मरन्ति एवं वदन्ति राजर्षे ऋषया केचनान्विता यत्स्ववाच विरुध्येत न्यूनं तेन स्मरन्त्युत एवं वदन्ति राजर्षे केनान्विता यत्स्ववाच विरुध्येत न्यूनं तेन स्मरन्त्युत What true Mataji's? What true word translation? Translation and purport by disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Evam so badanti say Rajrishe, O sage among kings, Rishayaha, sages, Kecha, some, na, not, Anvita, reasoning correctly, Yat, since, Swa, their own, Bachaha, words, Virudhyeta, are contradicted, Nyunam, for certain, Te, they, Nasmaranti, do not remember, Uta, indeed. Translation. Such is the account given by some sages, O wise king. But those who speak in this illogical way are contradicting themselves, having forgotten their own previous statements. If someone thinks that Lord Krishna was actually bewildered, Jai Shri Shri Nitai Gauranga Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Purport. If someone thinks that Lord Krishna was actually bewildered by Salva's magic and that the Lord was subjected to ordinary mundane lamentation, such an opinion is illogical and contradictory, since it is well known that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, transcendental and absolute. This will be further explained in the following verses that we'll be reading tomorrow. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashilakaya Chakshurum Nilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Shwa Padantikam Bandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunathan Bitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Brindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpataru Vesya Kripa Sindhu Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnamebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Brinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam, pangum langhayate girim, yat kripa tamaham bande, Shri Guru Dinatarinam, Shri Paramananda Madhavam, Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram, Krishna Krishna, Srimate Bhakti. Hare Krishna. So this is a very, very special verse because this actually glorifies Srimad Bhagavatam, and Sukadev Goswami is actually contradicting the message given by all other sages in all other Puranas. We need to understand when we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, we are actually reading the crest jewel of all the Puranas, and it is Amal Purana. And our acharyas in the commentaries to this verse says that starting from the verse number 15, where it is said that Salva hit Lord Krishna's arm, that the Saranga bow fell down, our acharyas say that from here Sukadev Goswami says and becomes adbhutam, becomes amazed that how come the sages who are supposed to be so learned speak like this? How come the sages who have written Harivamsas, the Vishwanath Thakur says that Harivamsa and Mahabharat, they speak and portray Krishna as an ordinary human being who has got some extraordinary powers. You see, if you go outside world also, they will, you talk with them, Krishna was a really, really amazing person. That entire energy was within him now. So they will consider Krishna as a person, and that energy, that Brahma, Parabrahma, somewhere, something else existing outside, got entered in Krishna, and then Krishna became Krishna. So the sages and Sukadev Goswami is telling, you will see it from in the later verses, Sukadev Goswami says, Krishna's body is completely made of Chit Sakti, Swarupa Shakti. How come this illusory salva is able to hit Krishna and then the bow is falling down and left arm is being hit? How foolish, how foolish. And these sages, this story is mentioned in Harivamsa, and Sukadeva Goswami says, these sages, they forget that just before this pastime, they declared Krishna as Supreme Lord. And now they are telling that Supreme Lord is being hit. Then what kind of Supreme Lord is he? If you are a Supreme Lord, and if you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and you are not able to handle this insignificant Salva's illusion, then what kind of Supreme Lord is you? And how these sages are self-contradicting themselves. And they are so foolish, they are not able to understand, or what? I am able to understand. This is really amazing. So in this way, the other literatures, the other Puranas that we see have a particular purpose. And Srimad Bhagavatam, as spoken by Srimad Sukadev Goswami, offers and gives us the highest purpose. So all the literatures have three purpose. All whatever Puranas, whatever entire Vedas, what we read, have three progressive purpose. The first one is moral, which is the lowest. And higher than that is spiritual. And the third one, the highest, is devotional. So we see so many literatures, the many of the Puranas which are meant for the people in mode of ignorance, the Shiva Puran, the Devi Puran, and all those Puranas that are mentioned, they are meant to elevate people from immorality to morality. And that's how they will speak about immoral acts, and then they will speak about regulating the immoral acts. Are Prabhuji, you are telling about not taking non-veg. You see Shiv Puran, they are telling that you have to take non-veg. You can take non-veg. Why in ISKCON people no non-veg, no meat eating? What nonsense you are telling? You can offer it actually, and you can make it prasadam. And that's what is so famous in Bengal. Huh? Mayer Prasad. So how can you address her as Ma, and then if she is Ma of everyone, then she is Ma of the goat also, and then you kill the goat, you kill one of the son of Ma, and then offer it to Ma, and then feed another son of Ma. I don't know what Sukadeva Goswami will think about all these things. Huh? Sukadeva Goswami is laughing at sages like Vaishampayana and in Harivamsa who have written what Sukadeva Goswami will think about these Puranas. So now we are all laughing that really, you are calling her Ma and you are offering her children, her children. Yes, the goats are not the children of Durga Devi. Only we are children of Durga Devi. The fishes are not children of Durga Devi. We are the children of Durga Devi. Srila Prabhupada says that, is it like that? If two brothers are there, one brother is a little handicapped, and you kill the handicapped brother and offer it to father. Oh, father, just see, I have relieved you from your karmic reaction. Is it like that? What nonsense is this? So we are able to laugh and see the nonsense, but those who are fully in mode of ignorance, they'll say, how will you get protein? I need protein. So you need protein, you can kill your brother to get protein. So in this way, these nonsense literatures, they are actually meant to take one from immorality to morality, to regulate immorality, but ultimately to take one to moral path, to completely abstain one from doing wrong things. But it is very, very foolishness. It's a contradictory thing to say that it is Mayer Prasad, right? So higher than that are the literatures which are in mode of goodness. So once a person has become moral, completely moral, and following all the conducts, and morality is defined as you don't give pain to anyone else. The definition of morality is you don't give pain to anyone else through your words, karma, bacha, through your actions, through your karma, and through your mana, through your mind. Through your mind, words, and action, anyone who does not inflict any pain to anyone else in this world, whether it is human beings, whether it is animals, whether it is trees, is a moral person. So all these scriptures which are in mode of passion and ignorance, but because when we get into passion and ignorance, we become so insensitive to the pains of others for our own pleasure. Yes, for someone who is passionate, he will not think about whatever. That's why we see that passionate people, they are so much creating problems to Mother Earth. So much of deforestation is happening, and so many seminars on climate change, and we are telling, so much of business we are making about and destroying the planet. Yes. So when we come into mode of passion, we become so insensitive to planet Earth, too insensitive to other people, and my pleasure is the only thing that I can see. That is passionate and mode of ignorance people. So these literatures are meant to bring out, take these people from mode of passion to mode of goodness. That, oh, I should actually not give pain to others. If I get pain, when someone gives me pain, then how much pain the other person would be feeling. So it's my responsibility to not inflict any pain to any person. So this is morality. So once a person comes to morality, mode of goodness, then there are literatures like Padma Puran and Skanda Puran, the mode of goodness literatures, Ramayana, who which says spiritual things. So morality is not the goal of human life, because morality does not introduce God. As in this verse, if you see the verse number, what Krishna is telling, I think Vidhi is what? Krishna is telling. Vidhi is Krishna is telling, na? Vidhi me param. I think the destiny is so powerful even than me. 24th verse, yeah. So, so in this way, these literatures, they will tell, moralistic literatures, they will tell, destiny is everything. You do your karma and destiny will do everything. But then that is not the goal of life. God has to get introduced. So many people, they say, be good, do good. Yes, this is moralistic principle. And they will think, oh, where is God? There is no question of God. Destiny, vidhi, karma karo. Do your work. Do your nice work. You will get the result. But then spiritual literatures, they introduce the Supreme Lord. It's only in these mode of goodness literatures, Puranas, you will see that the Supreme Lord is highlighted among all the demigods. If you read Padma Puran, you will see that Vishnu is highlighted among all the demigods. But still, though they are spiritual literatures, they inspire these type of people, those who are in mode of goodness, to take shelter of these literatures by offering them fulfillment of their desires. Like I saw some of our I was reading Gopal Champu, and in Gopal Champu, Jiva Goswami quotes Padma Puran, and Jiva Goswami quotes Padma Puran, telling that Padma Puran says that Krishna actually returned Vrindavan Dham after killing. You will see after this chapter, the next chapter will come. Krishna will kill Viduratha and Dantabakra. After Krishna killed Dantabakra, Padma Puran says that Krishna returned to Vrindavan. And Jiva Goswami, you will see in the purport later on, it's also mentioned as we'll read, that Jiva Goswami says, Padma Puran says it is authoritative that Krishna returned to Vrindavan. But Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami doesn't speak about it. So Padma Puran, I got interested in reading Padma Puran because Padma Puran is quoted many times by our acharyas. But you will read, if you read Padma Puran, the Phalasruti are so much material. I started reading Padma Puran. After reading just for 1-2 hours, I got so frustrated. What is speaking? You will get a good son. I was thinking, I don't want a good son. I'm not married. You will get elevation to heavenly planets. You will get this, you will get that, and if this and that and that. You will read all this Ekadasi Mahatmya, which is mentioned in our Vaishnav calendar. It's from Padma Puran. You read Ekadasi Mahatma, you'll see, oh, you will get rid of all your sins, you will be elevated. And that Gandharva became again a Gandharva who had fallen down and who had become a very lowly born Sudra. He became a Gandharva again and he enjoyed with his Gandharvi. This is the goal of Ekadasi. So when you read these literatures, they will introduce spirituality. They will introduce God as a supreme spiritual person and the demigods are under him. But the problem is to introduce that, they introduce the fulfillment of material desires. Oh, you see, Even the Gandharvas, the demigods, they are dependent on Vishnu for fulfillment of material desires. Indra, how he became Indra? How he became Indra? Vishnu made him Indra. Brahma, how he became Brahma? Vishnu made him Brahma. So, forget all demigods, forget Lord Shiva, forget Lord Indra, forget the chants that glorify Indra in the Rig Veda, forget the chants that glorify Shiva in Shiv Puran. Accept Vishnu, because all demigods, everyone is servant of Vishnu. And you can fulfill the highest way, the most amazing way. Your desires will get fulfilled if you accept Vishnu as the Supreme Lord. This is the goal of these Puranas. But Srimad Bhagavatam is Amal Puran because it describes Dhruva Maharaj. Now, Dhruva, he actually did what all other Puranas they are saying. Dhruva actually went to the Supreme Lord. Dhruva actually prayed to the Supreme Lord. But all other Puranas, they will speak Dhruva Maharaj's pastimes and they will say, just see how Dhruva Maharaj got so much of opulence just by worshipping Vishnu. And Srimad Bhagavatam will say, if you read Dhruva Maharaj's section, Srimad Bhagavatam says that, oh, after getting so many opulence by Supreme Lord said, Dhruva, you will get Dhruva Loka, which is spiritual world within material world. No one has ever got like this. You will get spiritual happiness in material body. No one has ever got it. Your body will be invincible. Your body will not have any disease. So Supreme Lord gave Dhruva Maharaj so many things, but Sukadeva Goswami explains that how Dhruva Maharaj was not at all pleased. And he was lamenting, oh, what nonsense is this? The Lord came to in front of me. I didn't serve the Lord. I took service from the Lord. This is what Sukadeva Goswami presents in Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is not presenting Supreme Lord as Supreme Lord, like the goodness Puranas, like Padma Puran, Skanda Puran. Srimad Bhagavatam is presenting service, unalloyed service to the Supreme Lord as the supreme goal of life. And not just unalloyed service to the Lord, Prema Pumartho Mahan. To actually love God, to serve God is the goal of life. The goal of life is not to fulfill our desires in this world. The goal of life is not to enjoy. The goal of life is to help Krishna enjoy his pastimes and assist Krishna and give pleasure to Krishna. That is what Srimad Bhagavatam establishes. And that's how Srimad Bhagavatam is a devotional literature. It is not moralistic literature like Mahabharata and all other Puranas. It is not a spiritual literature like Ramayana and all other mode of goodness Puranas, Padma Puran. It is a devotional literature which helps the living entity to understand that the real goal of life is to awaken our dormant love for Krishna. So that's how we see all the different stories that are mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam are so special. The story of Prahlad, Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami explains Prahlad Maharaj's story is in many other Puranas. You can read Prahlad Maharaj's stories in Narsimha Puran. You can read Prahlad Maharaj's stories in Brahmanda Puran. In so many other Puranas, you will read about Prahlad Maharaj. But it is only in Srimad Bhagavatam where Srimad Bhagavatam speaks about Prahlad Maharaj's story in a way that what Prahlad Maharaj is asking to Supreme Lord. Prahlad Maharaj is asking, oh Lord, if you really want to bless me, please purify my heart and I don't want any benedictions from you. So all other Puranas glorify Prahlad Maharaj's devotion. They glorify Prahlad Maharaj's by the power of his devotion. He was saved from his father Hiranyakashipu. That is the conclusion. But Srimad Bhagavatam's conclusion is Prahlad's unalloyed devotion to Narsingadev. All other Puranas will also speak about Vritrasura and Indra's pastime. And Indra worshipped the Lord and got Narayan Kavach. And because Indra got Narayan Kavach, he was able to kill Vritrasur. Just see how great is Narayan, how great is Narayan Kavacha. And only in Srimad Bhagavatam, Vritrasur speaks, Indra, you fool, you are simply enjoying this heavenly planets, which is like a worm enjoying the stool. Can you imagine? So Srimad Bhagavatam actually compares motivated devotional service and establishes the goal as the pure devotional service. And if we have to practice pure devotional service, loving the Lord, serving the Lord without any motivation other than just to please the Lord. That is the main purpose of Srimad Bhagavatam. And that's how Sukadeva Goswami is rejecting in this verse all the acharyas who have presented the literatures and who are contradicting themselves. They are telling that Lord is supreme, and they are telling that the Lord got affected by the arrows of salva. How foolish, how foolish. If my Lord is supreme, then can he not protect himself? Later on, we will read in the next few days, Sukadeva Goswami says, "Are forget about Lord protecting himself. The devotees of the Lord, just by chanting Hare Krishna, they are able to protect themselves from material energy. Can the Lord not protect himself from material energy?" What foolishness these people are telling. And then there are enough foolish people to hear from these sages. And that's how we should understand that the gift that we have got as Srimad Bhagavatam is the greatest gift that our acharyas are giving to us. But we should understand that this gift of Srimad Bhagavatam should be read properly and should be understood properly. Even if we have got the best gift, Srimad Bhagavatam, we can still misunderstand Srimad Bhagavatam. And that's how in Chaitanya Charitamrita there is a famous story that comes in Antya Leela. So in Antya Leela there is a story about a Brahmana from Bengal. So this Brahmana from Bengal had gone to Sri Jagannath Puri Dham, and while he went to Jagannath Puri Dham, his friend was Bhagavan Acharya. Bhagavan Acharya was a very known associate of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this Brahmana went from Bengal to Puri and he stayed in the house of Bhagavan Acharya and said to Bhagavan Acharya, "Oh Bhagavan, you know, I have written a special poetry on Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu." And his friend Bhagavan Acharya said, "Oh, you have written." So Bhagavan Acharya heard the poetry written by this Brahmana poet from Bengal. And Bhagavan Acharya was really amazed. Amazing. This is so wonderful. So Bhagavan Acharya called all his neighbors, all other devotees, "Come, come, come, my friend has written a poetry on Lord Chaitanya, please hear." So all other devotees came. There was a class. This Brahmana gave a class on glories of Lord Chaitanya, what he has written on as a drama on Lord Chaitanya. And all other Vaishnavas in Jagannath Puri said, "Amazing, amazing. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu must hear this." And then this Bhagavan Acharya also got little impressed that I should also, he got a lot of encouragement that I should take this drama to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this Brahmana from Bengal also said, "I also want that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu hears this." But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a rule The rule was anyone wants to speak anything to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has to go through his secretary Swarup Damodar Goswami. First, Swarup Damodar Goswami would scrutinize it, that it is proper. Then it will go to Lord Chaitanya, because Lord Chaitanya would become very angry if there is something here and there. So then Swarup Damodar Goswami, Bhagavan Acharya, he approached Swarup Damodar Goswami and he said, ki, look, my friend from Bengal has written a wonderful poetry from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I have certified it from all other Vaishnavas. They are so happy about it. I want that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu hear about it. And then Swarup Damodar Goswami replied, Swarupa kahe tumi gopa parama udar. Swarup Goswami said, you are like a cowherd boy and you are very magnanimous. You can hear anything and everything. Ye se sastra sunite ichha upaje tomar. All these literatures, here and there literatures, hearing it, you have great interest. Just like a cowherd boy, he releases everything in the forest of Vrindavan. Yadva tadva kabira vakya hoye rasabhas siddhanta viruddha sunitena hoye ullas. In the writings of so-called poets, there is generally a possibility of overlapping transcendental mellows. When the mellows thus go against the conclusive understanding, no one likes to hear such poetry. So Swarup Damodar Goswami said, ki this Bhagavan Acharya, I don't think it is proper to make your poet come in front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Otherwise, I am feeling that there will be problem. So Bhagavan Acharya said, no, he is my friend from Bengal, my friend, he has written a poetry, other Vaishnavas have already heard it, my friend. And Swarup Damodar, what he will say, okay, my friend, first bring him, I will hear first, then I will take him to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then this friend came, and when this friend came, Bhagavan Acharya's friend, and then Bhagavan Acharya said, Swarup Damodar Goswami said, ki okay, oh friend of Brahmana from Bengal, recite at least the first verse. And this person explained the first verse and said, ki Jagannath is the dull God and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is actually the moving God. Jagannath was dull and sitting in one place, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is moving around and purifying the world. Hare Krishna. And just imagine, all of you are feeling angry. Swarup Damodar, he was really good. We will directly hear what Swarup Damodar said, so that actually everyone, because it was in Sanskrit, everyone was very happy, but Swarup Damodar was very upset. And then we will read. Are murkha apanaro kaili sarvanas. Swarup Damodar said, Are police, you have created sarvanas for yourself. Duita Iswara Toro Nahika Vishwas. Jagannath is also Lord, and Swarup Damodar says Chaitanya is also Lord. There is no difference between Jagannath and Chaitanya. It's not that Jagannath is dull because he doesn't have hands and legs, he is not able to move, and Chaitanya has come now with hands and legs, he is moving. Jagannath is Chit Swarup. He is not a dull person. He is the Supreme Lord. And Chaitanya is the Supreme Lord. Are murk, pagal. Like that is it. Purnananda Chitswarupa Jagannath Rai. All of you recite. Tare Koili Jada Naswara Prakruta Kai. Lord Jagannath is completely spiritual and full of transcendental bliss, but you have compared him to a dull, destructible body composed of inert external energy of the Lord. You have told that Jagannath is just an inert matter, and Lord Chaitanya has brought life to Jagannath and moving here and there. How dare you speak such nonsense about Jagannath? Like that, Swarup Damodar Goswami became very, very upset. Purna Sadaswarya Chaitanya Swayam Bhagavan Tare Koili Kshudra Jiva Spulinga Saman. You have calculated Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Supreme Lord, full in six opulence, to be in the level of ordinary living being. Actually, this poet said that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is an ordinary Jivatma, and Jagannath, because he cannot move, he has invested that energy on Sri Chaitanya and he is now moving through Sri Chaitanya. Just imagine. And that was such a wonderful poetry that even other Vaishnavas in Puri was, oh, amazing, sahi bola. So in this way, this Swarup Damodar is telling, you fool, you made Jagannath as inert matter. He cannot move, and he has invested his energy to a Jivatma called Chaitanya, and now Chaitanya is moving, talking Brahman now. And you fool, you made both, offended both. You offended Jagannath as dull matter, you offended Lord Chaitanya as a Shudra Jiva. And then next, Swarup Damodar continued. Dui thai aparadhe paiba durgati atatva gya tattva varne tarai riti. Swarup Damodar continued. Because you have committed an offense to Lord Jagannath and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you will attain a hellish destination. Go to hell. You do not know how to describe the absolute truth, but nevertheless you have tried to do so. Therefore, you must be condemned. Are ka kariyacha parama pramad deha dehi bheda ishware koila parad. And second thing you have made and problem is that you have considered deha and dehi as different for Supreme Lord. Just like we have a body and we are actually soul. It is different. Our body is different and we are actually soul. But the Lord is non-different. His body and he himself is same. The Supreme Lord. And that's how in this Sukadeva Goswami starts laughing when they say that the sages say that the arrows came and hit Lord Krishna and Lord Krishna's bow fell down. Lord Krishna's bow is Chitta Swarupa. Lord Krishna's arm is Chitta Swarupa. There is no difference between Lord Krishna himself and his arm. The entire body is Satchidananda Vigraha. Telling that Lord Krishna's arm is getting blood like an ordinary person is simply illusory. And then the verse comes, very important verse. We will conclude with this. Just 1 minute. Yeah. So all of you recite. This is 131 verse from the Antelila, 5th chapter. Jaha Bhagavata pada Vaishnavera sthane Ekanta ashraya kara Chaitanya charane. Then Swarup Damodar Goswami instructed that Brahmana, Ja, go, run now, Bhagavata padha. If you want to realize Bhagavatam, if you want to realize God, Vaishnavera sthane, go and read Srimad Bhagavatam under a Vaishnava. Ekanta ashraya kara Chaitanya charane. Only when you read from a Vaishnava who has taken shelter of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, only from him who has taken shelter of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you can understand the inner purports of Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhupada gives nice purport, but we do not have time to read. Chaitanyara bhakta ganera nityakara sangha tabeta janiva siddhanta samudra taranga. Swarup Damodar continued, associate regularly with the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for then only will you understand the waves of the ocean of devotional service. So this is how we are concluding here. We discussed in the beginning that how there are so many spectrum of literatures, and in the spectrum of literatures, some of the literatures try to bring living entity to moralistic platform, and further there are some literatures which bring the living entity to spiritual platform, and from there is Srimad Bhagavatam, which actually glorifies Krishna stu Bhagavan Swayam. Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and devotion to Krishna, unalloyed devotion to Krishna, is the goal of life. But even if we have Srimad Bhagavatam with us, even if we read Srimad Bhagavatam regularly, we will not be able to understand anything, just like this Brahmana poet from Bengal. And we will make Jagannath as dull matter and Chaitanya as a Jivatma, and will commit offense and go to hell. And that is how Srimad Bhagavatam should be read from those who have understood the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam by following in the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we should consider our fortune. We were not just introduced to Srimad Bhagavatam, we are introduced to Srimad Bhagavatam by Srila Prabhupada. We are introduced to Srimad Bhagavatam by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. We are introduced to Srimad Bhagavatam by Jiva Goswami and Sanatan Goswami and the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan and the followers of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that is how and why we are able to relish Srimad Bhagavatam, read Srimad Bhagavatam, understand Srimad Bhagavatam, and we are preaching it all over and people are becoming devotees. Srimad Bhagavatam was already there, always there. When it was not there, Srimad Bhagavatam is not written when Srila Prabhupada went to West. Srimad Bhagavatam, it's not that Srila Prabhupada took to West. Srimad Bhagavatam was already there. Last 5,000 years it has been there. But only because Srila Prabhupada, who is an unalloyed servant of Gauravani, the message of Lord Chaitanya, when he wrote Srimad Bhagavatam, when he took all the essence of all Srimad Bhagavatam's commentaries from all the acharyas, when he presented Srimad Bhagavatam, there was an upsurge of devotion in the outside world. Srila Prabhupada used to say that so many Bhagavad Gita editions are there, so many editions of Srimad Bhagavatam is there, and not a single devotee was there in outside world. Why? Because they were not presenting Srimad Bhagavatam based on our acharyas. They were presenting Srimad Bhagavatam based on what people want. And that's why they will speak about Rasa Leela. And Srila Prabhupada presented the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, not Ras Leela. Actually, when he went to West, he didn't took 10th canto and the Ras Leela section. He took the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. And he made so many devotees because he presented Srimad Bhagavatam based on what Sanatan Goswami is telling, based on what the 6 Goswamis and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is telling. And that is how the upsurge of devotion is there. And that's how we need to understand that if we want to understand Srimad Bhagavatam, learn it, apply it, we need to first take shelter. Ekanta karo Chaitanya ashraya. And those who have taken shelter of Chaitanya, those who have taken shelter of the devotees of Lord Chaitanya, if we only take their shelter, we can understand Srimad Bhagavatam. Otherwise, we can be misled by the sages. What Sukadeva Goswami is telling, how foolish these sages are. We can be misled like this Brahmana poet. They all have good intentions. It's not that the Brahmana poet didn't have good intention. He wanted to glorify only Lord Chaitanya. He wanted to glorify Lord Jagannath. But because he had not taken shelter of the devotees of Lord Chaitanya, because he had not taken shelter of the people who have taken shelter of devotees of Lord Chaitanya, he got misled. So that's how we have to understand our fortune. Our fortune is not receiving Srimad Bhagavatam. Our fortune is receiving Srimad Bhagavatam from Srila Prabhupada. And when we understand that, we will not say that Srila Prabhupada's purports doesn't contain anything. There is something else available we need to read. We need to understand Srila Prabhupada is offering the condensed devotion of Sri Vrindavan Dham through his Bhakti Vedanta purports. And if we read them seriously, by taking shelter of Srila Prabhupada's purport, we can definitely in this life reach Sri Vrindavan Dham. There is no doubt about it. And if you don't reach, Sukdev Goswami will laugh. Just see, he did. He read Srila Prabhupada's purport. Because he didn't had that faith on Srila Prabhupada and the followers of Lord Chaitanya, he didn't reach. We need to understand, only when we have this, what it is telling, this verse, Swarup Damodar, ekant ashraya kara Chaitanya charane. Only when we have ekanta, ashraya and shraddha, that if I read Srimad Bhagavatam based on the purports of our Acharyas and Srila Prabhupada, I can understand Srimad Bhagavatam. When that shraddha is there, to not speculate Srimad Bhagavatam, to not misinterpret Srimad Bhagavatam, but to just speak, hear, realize and apply what our Acharyas are telling, that Shraddha will take us to Sri Vrindavan Dham. That Shraddha on the associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran ki, Sukdev Goswami ki, the followers of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande.